Step by step, right? We've talked about step by step. There's no blueprint, we go step by step. We don't know about you guys, but this step by step thing is rather revolutionary in Veronica's life. So step by step, okay. Let's have a picture of step by step that we think will be helpful to you guys. And then we're going to talk about the Fred thing, and you'll see why it's even more helpful. Here you are. Okay? See that? Imagine this is a stepping stone. You know what that is. These are also stepping stones. Yeah? More stepping stones. We're not going to draw this like 10,000 layers out because, one, we're starting not to make them very round, and two, we don't want to have to erase too much. But you can imagine, right? We've got all these stepping stones. Pretty clever? Okay, something like that. It's all filled up with stepping stones. In the old days, especially people like Randy and Veronica, and we even taught you the Circle of Possibilities tool, right? So we had this too. The idea was, I like what's right here. And since I started here, I'm just going to go, right? Get the fuck out of my way. I want to be here. I'm here. As a crow flies, that's the way I go. The visionaries would have said, cool, you want to get there? We'll take the shortest number of steps. Why not? Why shouldn't we? Right? Be efficient. Sometimes, because you people tend to be kind of creative, that was hard though. Because you'd get distracted along the way, and then you'd feel bad because you didn't get to the edge fast enough. But most of you are just overachieving flicking light workers, and you couldn't wait to get to wherever you thought you needed to be. However many books I need to read, whatever number of classes I need to go to, however many teachers I need to have, I don't care. Give me it, I'll get an A and a gold star at the same time, right? Then comes the matriarch, and she says, step by step. Huh. Yeah, okay. So step by step means, let's say we're starting at this one, and we step over to this one. Just 'cause. Show up at the meeting, right? That's a step. And then the matriarch very cleverly says, stop! Don't be in a hurry. Where are you going? What do you think you're doing? There's no need to rush. There's no plan. There's no blueprint. There's nothing such thing as time. We don't have to do anything other than reevaluate your goals and desires based on the fact that now you stand here and this version of you is completely different than this version of you. And we do what? We do you to you. That's what we do. So you go into one step, compare you to you in order to recognize growth, because you don't recognize growth unless you compare you to you. Because again, you know that thing about the weights, right? If you're lifting weights and you keep adding more, you never know that you've made any difference because it still hurts to lift it. If you lift weights and you don't keep adding more, eventually it gets easier, right? Even the new guy can agree to that. So if you don't compare you to you, i.e., the amount of weight has increased, therefore I'm not actually in the same hard place as I was a week ago, a year ago, 6 years ago. I'm a different person, still trying to do a challenging thing because I want to grow. That's part of you to you. But the more fascinating part of you to you now is when I go from here to here, from this point, this new point, I may have completely different desires. And if I don't check in with myself, I'll never know if I do. This cannot happen anymore. When you're here, there's something else that's very important. Not only may your desires and your dreams be different, your baggage and your static is different too. Because that's where you make the choice. You make the choice to say, I've stepped over here and my baggage and my static don't come with me unless I let them. you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is incredible freedom. Because not only are you letting go of the addiction to certainty, the addiction to the survival instinct saying, oh, just don't do the narrowest path. The addiction to we can only go by the blueprint. The addiction to if I get here, I'll get a gold star. What you're doing is you're saying, when I go here and I reevaluate, we can't do it. If we were on the computer, we could probably be very clever about this, but we're not. The center of your world changes to this point.
Right.
You saw when we started here, it was kind of the center of our picture, right? We had this whole picture. We tried to be kind of in the center. When you take that next step, your whole world shifts around you, and you're still in the middle. You're still the only thing that's going on. Because we wouldn't want you to fall into any sort of idea that there's only 1, 2 more steps I could possibly go this direction. It's not like that. This idea of infinite possibilities, which we're just visualizing as stepping stones, shifts with you, and it continues to represent infinite possibilities in infinite directions, infinitely represented. And as you move to here and you reevaluate, the great, most powerful, wonderful thing is you can go here, 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 here. You could even go back there if you chose to. And the beautiful thing is, you can go to this step. Let's pick a fun one. Let's go in this direction over here. You could pick this one simply because it delights or fascinates you, and not for any highfalutin gotta get to the end reason, but simply out of delight and fascination. And that is freedom. To live in delight and fascination rather than living in some kind of end result, outcome-based life. You see, this is outcome-based. And that says outcome, whether you believe it or not. This is delight and fascination based. Delight and fascination based. Simply because I wanna. Not because I gotta. And then of course, because you're here now and delight and fascination brought you here, you are a completely different being. And it all starts again. It's a step by step. Makes it very easy for you to change directions. Makes it very easy for you to decide the truth of you. There's so much freedom in this. Now let's say you're a person who has a 9-to-5 job and you're in a sense of like, well, I don't feel a lot of freedom in my life and, you know, my outcome is I got to go to work. Even in that kind of a constricted environment, your choices to your reactions to your creations are still this kind of a step-by-step matrix picture. Your reactions to your creations. Because we don't go anywhere and just straight line to try to get home at 5 o'clock so we can watch TV. We recognize, I created that customer. I created that problem with the shipping invoice. I created that issue with the banking. I created it. And as I move into I created it, I can choose my reaction to my creation. And then as I choose my reaction to my creation, am I going to be mad? Am I going to be sad? Am I going to have shame? Am I going to do blame? Am I going to do anger? Whatever I might be tempted to do. Rather than go that direction, what if I came over here and went to fascination? Dare we even say delight? Have delight over a disaster and see how it changes your life. Do this. Do this. Because what this is going to do is it's going to help you remember you're a creator in every moment. That's what this gives you. Every moment. Imagine what stepping stone you're on. Today Veronica was contemplating this in a subject in her life. And she realized that she had been going up and down like this, just like everybody else. But she had step 1, step 2, and she was over on this one about right here. And what she said to herself was, I'm just going to stop there. I'm just going to stop here. And what was she going to do when she stopped? Integrate. That's another beautiful thing about step by step is if you're doing this, it's really hard not to keep going. But if you're doing step by step, you can say, I want to stay on this one for a bit. Just for a bit. Till I'm done. Until the light and fascination of integration has passed. Because we're not always focused on outcome. We can be focused on the moment. Got it?
Yes.
Super important.
Yes.
Okay, we have to erase. We've never erased it before, so let's see how this goes. Oh, thank you. That was sweet of you. Well, look at that. Apparently we know how to erase. We better drink water too. All right, that was the matriarch's thing. Fred's been teaching you guys, and the whole council's been trying to help, how to think about living as a fractal. So, since a fractal is kind of a visual thing, we thought we'd better draw one for you. We're going to wait on you, Randy, so just take your time.
Okay.
We're going to eat chocolate in the meantime.
On my nose.
We're waiting on you, so take your time. Is
Yeah.
that passive aggressive?
Okay.
That was some sort of bogus psychological bullshit there, we think. Okay. We weren't meaning to rush you, but we were meaning to let you know we were waiting. We didn't do a very good job.
That's okay.
All right. We're just pausing a moment because this is important. And, well, we don't know how to explain it. It's important. We're going to talk about the different levels of experiencing your reality.
Cool.
You've been waiting 8 years for this. Imagine, if you will, that we have level 1. We'll just call it, we're just going to put a 1 here so we don't forget where we are. Level 1. And because we're talking fractals, this becomes level 2. Okay? 2. This becomes level 3. Okay? And you're with us?
Yes.
Level 4. We're not going to do it everywhere. We'll be here all night. This is the point, though. You get it? 4. You can imagine, right? Level 5. Etc. Level 1, low vibration. Level 5, higher vibration. We can't draw it all the way down to level 10, but we'd like you to think about it in level 10 levels, okay? Level 1, low vibration, unconscious, normal, muggles, right? That's a funny way of saying it. The idea that surface level, so good level 1 things are gossip, jealousy, unconsciousness, fear, money, anything that's common is level 1. Most people on this planet live in level 1 their entire life. It's not a judgment, it's a fact. You don't have to, Some of you might have been tempted to at one time. If you're here, it's impossible to be that you're living in level 1 your whole life. But many people are. Okay? Level 2, more conscious. Level 2 is when you stop feeling like you're a victim, but you don't exactly know how to live as anything else. Level 2 is a very complicated place to live. Level 2 is probably one of the hardest. Because you start to realize something else is going on, and you don't know why everybody else doesn't see it, yet you don't know what to do with it. Level 2 is very, very hard. Levels 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 are variations on the theme of living more consciously. 7, 8, 9, and 10 are very rarefied levels to live in. If something's happening, it's happening on all 10 levels at the same time. And it's up to you to choose which level you wish to respond to it from. You have access to all 10 levels. Probably 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are not that easy for you to maintain. As an example, Veronica channeling Fred. This isn't going to happen all day long, right? It's not going to happen for an hour. It's not even going to happen for 20 minutes. Why? Holding levels 7, 8, 9, 10 are very hard on your physical form, primarily because they engage the survival instinct in ways that you have not yet managed to deal with well. 2 weeks ago, when Veronica cried at the end of the meeting, it's because she was accessing those levels to channel Fred that night. She came out of it feeling like there were spaces of 4 inches between each of her vertebrae, and there were big balls of space between each of her cells. Okay, you can't do that for 5 hours. And if you can, we should probably trade chairs with you. So we do not give any permission for you guys to be shitty to yourselves if you're not living levels 7, 8, 9, 10. But you are no longer allowed to not know they exist. So you get a pass for not living them, but the awareness of them is what's going to give you access to them in the future. Okay? 2 more things at least. When you have to deal with a level 1 experience, and each and every freaking one of you does, paying the cable bill, the plumber comes because the toilet's plugged up, the car breaks down, right? These very, very visceral, earthy, 3D, I hate them kind of experiences that happen that in the past light workers would really, really have a problem with, like taking care of the body. I don't want to have to take care of my body because it's not spiritual, right? You have a conflict in yourself built in with level 1 experiences, and you must change that. You do not get to be pissed off about level 1. You must have a different relationship to the truth of level 1. You will have level 1 experiences until the day your heart stops beating. It's how you relate to level 1 experiences. Now, if you go into level 1 and you feel like it somehow means you're not being spiritual because you had a level 1 experience, you have missed the point. You want to be aware that level 1 experiences happen, but to know that there is a deeper way of relating to it, not that you can get rid of it. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you get a flat tire, and a part of you just wants to be pissed off about the flat tire. What do we say? Be more conscious. What is this teaching me? What is true now? Blah, 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 blah. Well, all those freaking tools we're doing was getting you out of your immediate reaction to level 1 and letting you see it from level 2, level 3, or level 4. Because as you'll notice, the surface area, this is the point of a fractal, surface area. Here, level 1 is just the plus. There isn't a lot of options there. You get down to level 3 and look at how much surface area there is. All of these are different neural pathways to use. Different options. Different non-habitual responses. We could even say different tools to pull into the situation. When you drop into a 3 or a 4 experience, you're automatically doing that thing that the warrior says, where you've gone to the armory and you've picked up your tools. Right? Level 1 is like, I'm going to just go in with my eating knife. Level 2, level 3, level 4, you start collecting. I'll take the bow and arrow, I'll take the sword, I'll take all this stuff with me, and I'll approach the situation with a completely revised viewpoint. Because I won't go in empty-handed. Another way of looking at it. Level 1 is loud, like a bass drum. Boom, 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 boom. Vibrationally. It has a loud impact on you. These up here, very rarefied, a completely different harmonic. That completely different harmonic can be drowned out by the repetitive boom, boom, boom of level 1. It takes a different kind of attention to experience a level 5. It's not unlike what Veronica's doing right now with us. There are noisy things in her life that would take up her attention right now very easily if she didn't consciously set them aside and allow for our more refined sound to be the sound that comes through. The question we've asked you to ask yourself is, what is true now? Right? We haven't given up on that one ever. We've told you it's the most important one. What is true now? Car has a flat tire, level 1. Wow, I'm tempted to react with anger, level 2. I'm going to ask, why is this happening for me, level 3. I'm going to bring in a deeper view of my experience and ask, perhaps, why do I need this to be happening to me? Why do I need this to be happening to me? Because it wouldn't happen to me. It only happens for me. You see how the tools take you deeper, deeper and deeper into it. That's why we've been giving them to you. So that each moment gives you the opportunity to experience yourself in a deeper way. To know more about what is true. The levels of truth that exist within you. Where we see this screwing you guys up is when you go from having I'm meditating, or I'm looking out at the sun, or the cats made me smile, I'm in level 4, and then the phone rings and you're like, damn it, I was all in level 4 and now you've got me back in level 1. You victimizer, you cable company, you bad husband, you whatever you. You start to think that because you moved from 4 to 1, someone else did it to you. The truth of the matter is you went from level 4 to level 1 because there's level 1 stuff in your life that you cannot hide from. You do not live in a cave. Monk in the marketplace, not monk in the cave, remember? We're actually far more fascinated about how you live with how you deal with level 1 experiences than how you deal with level 4 experiences. Because this right here, when level 1 pops up and shows you its story, right? This first plus. When level 1 pops up, are you going to deal with it from a level 1 perspective? Or are you going to go back into 4 about level 1? What Fred wants you guys to be able to do requires access to these higher levels. You cannot jump time streams. You cannot mine your alternative expressions from level 1. And if you get pissed because a level 1 happens to you, you're going to stay in level 1. The resentment you guys have about being pulled out of a 4 is something you really have to deal with. And we thought perhaps drawing it would help you guys when you find yourself doing it. So like with you, a money thing comes up. Part of why you have a continuing money issue, and we're pointing at you, but everybody's got them, is that you resent the fuck out of having to be a level 1 person. And anything that's associated with level 1, you almost feel like a failure when you have to deal with. So what we want to help you guys do is interact with level 1 stuff, but remember that you can do it from, say, level 3 or level 4. And to remind you, they're not going away. This is not... What is beeping? Is it something bad beeping? Maybe it's the little recorder.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's not fresh batteries.
Battery.
Okay, we just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything extra important. When you have a level 1 experience, the rent's due. All right, that's always a good one. The mortgage payment's due. Because you've had 50 years of dealing with that feeling, the temptation is to feel like it's got to be the same as it's been for 50 years. If instead you say, okay, this is a level 1 experience, and I have more to offer this situation than a level 1 reaction. So what's a level 4 reaction to the rent being due? Fascination, right? First off, it's always going to be fascination. Rent's due, fascinating, here it comes again. I'm having a reaction to it that's habitual, fascinating again. Right? The way into level 4 is through fascination, definitely. Oh, we already erased it, we had it written there before. Fascination is always going to help you drop levels. Because if you're fascinated, you're looking for more than what's obvious. You see? That's, I mean, if you don't know what the difference between here and here is, it's looking for more. Right? If you've gone on the YouTube and you've looked at the fractals as they project them out and they make those pretty pictures, if you don't keep going deeper into the fractal, you don't know it's there. This is the journey of consciousness, right? Is going deeper into the story as presented, deeper into the visual that's given to you, deeper into my desire for consciousness. There is more here. Could be the cry of the light worker in this 2012 age. There is more here. There is more here. That can be the name of tonight's meeting. There is more here. Because this little bit right here, which you can see is very dense and has all kinds of surface area, is there whether we draw it or not. It's down here as well. We just didn't draw it. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get how important this is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because it's over here too, and it's over here too, and it's over here, 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 and it's over here. And each one of them. And it keeps going. This is the blessing that's being offered to you, is to live in and deeply into each moment. And that's why we did the step-by-step thing first. It's because we'll tell you this right now. Picture starts to look a little similar to the one we drew a minute ago, doesn't it? If we fill out those rest of these circles, look at that. Look what just happened. Look what just happened. So we start here at level 1, and we go here, and then we go here, and then we go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And what would we have lost if you had just been doing the up and down thing? Because you know when you do the up and down thing, you don't realize all the extra little details there. And if you're in such a hurry to get to outcome, outcome's our new least favorite word, by the way, in case you didn't get that. What was it, hoarding? What was the other one that we really never liked?
Results.
We don't like bud. But there was that one that we really didn't like for a long time. We didn't even like saying it, so maybe we shouldn't try to think of it. But outcome is our new least favorite word. Our new favorite word is exploration. Because that's what this is. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to explore what here has to give me. And then I'm going to be inspired to explore maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. Now, of course, because it's Fred, and this is all very linear.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded like an interesting sound, John. Do you have to check in on that? Okay.
That's my story.
Okay, good. Because it's Fred, you know it's not just stepping stones, right? Okay. So And if we had like a 3D model happening right now, which you probably can sort of imagine, and you imagine you're here, what Fred's teaching you is that when we're ready, you can go over here, and then you can go over here, and you can go level 7, level 8, level 5, level 4, level 3, level 5, level 7. Now, what all that's going to look like, we don't have a freaking clue yet. But every week we have more of the picture. To this week, what we want to focus on the most is there is more here, 1. And in that more, I have to release addiction to outcome and instead be enchanted with exploration. And on each step, admit to myself, focus, concentrate, be aware that on each step, I am a new person because of compare you to you. On each step, you compare you to you. Now, somebody said, I'm having a hard time feeling any compare you to you stuff. Okay, if you're having a hard time feeling compare you to you, you can imagine some hair fell out of your head. Right every time you brush your hair, some hair falls out. You know skin is falling off all over the place. It's kind of gross, right? There's always some skin falling off. Your fingernails are always getting longer, right? So you can always just say, well, even though I'm not super aware of it, I can acknowledge my body processes have changed. My food's more digested. I'm more thirsty. I'm less, well, yeah, more thirsty. Maybe I'm more hungry. You can pick anything, right? I have to go to the bathroom more than I did 10 minutes ago. Whatever. You can pick bodily functions at a minimum. But we believe you can also pick awareness of change within if you ask yourself. If you ask yourself what has changed. And what we're hoping is that when you find yourself on this stepping stone over here, instead of this one, you can feel a different viewpoint as well, because there is a different viewpoint to be had if you're not habituating to the search for outcome. Is it sinking in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody get up there and ask us something.